My name is Daley. I'm the technical pre-sales consultant for Peacock Engineering, and today we're going to have a quick run through of an introduction to IBM's latest release of Maximo, which is 7611. What I'm going to show you today is a quick recap of 761, just to get you sort of up to speed with some of the new features, what it looks like. We do have a separate webinar which I did back late last year on 761, so if you want to watch that, go and watch that. It's a little bit more in depth than this on 761. Then I'm going to go into just a few things on 7611 release to really show you what's come through in this latest release. Just to recap on 761, that was released in the middle of last year, and it had an accumulation of the 760 feature packs and some further features, budgeting, asset depreciation. There was a big modernization of the user experience with its linking in color schemes to the work centers, which introduced a new skin. It had the Cognos 11 entitlement and some other things around sort of the supporting parts of it. It was Java 8, WAS 9, DB2, 11, 1, things like that. So the actual 761 and some of the 76 releases included the work centers, so essentially giving you a new user experience. Initially there's 4, so well, there's 5 actually, because the work technicians, supervisors split out anyway. But those 2 give you the ability to look through your work, so a technician's work, so my work. And if you're at a supervisor level, look at also your team's work. There's a business analyst one, so giving you the ability to understand your data. There's a service request, so self-service request work center, and the new inspections work center introduced in there. So a little view of what a work center looks like. They're separate applications, so you punch out into them when you click on the sort of go-to menu. As you can see here, this one is the work supervision, which gives you a sort of a Kanban view. But it also, once you click on one of the work orders that's in there, because that's work order view, it brings you some of the subset of information from the Maximo work center. So not all of it, but a subset of that information, the important information really of what you need to see, and it can be changed within the data within it can be changed within the work center as well. Also within the 761 release, which is also in 7611, is the new IoT 18 skin. The color changes, as you can see in there, there's quite a big difference in color scheme. But if I just flip back up, it aligns very well with the work center's color scheme. Essentially, it's a match. The fonts are the same, colors are the same, so you get a streamlined sort of easy view between a work center Maximo Classic. The UI is a lot more responsive, and it also uses all the real estate within your desired monitor, whether that's a laptop or an external monitor. Again, Cognos 11, mentioned this earlier, it's a lot more easy to use than the previous version, but the entitlements there now with 761 and also 7611. So let's get into the 7611 release information. One of the bigger parts of what's happened in this release is there's been some technical updates or some user experience updates to the work centers. There's a new work center for supply chain, which gives you item master, store and balances, reservation, physical count. I'll show you that in a second. That's going to be increased in usability as well, so there's going to be more things added to that as time goes on, as they get developed. There's some configuration availability now in the supervisor and technician. It's got tools in there as well, a bit of map support. The inspections one has got some cascading Q&As, some colors in there. I'm not going to go too much into that today, but The administration one as well, there's an administration app which gives you the ability to do SR classification within a work centre. The other sort of big change is they've included dynamic job plans. So it enables you to use one of the 4 methods within there, which gives you a static one, which is out of the box, a standard one, which it uses now, but we can do proportional levelling within the dynamicy. I'll show you that in a second and show you what that means. Some licensing changes, so there's some tokening in licensing, so new options to procure and monitoring your licensing. Some, again, top right, I'm looking up here in the top right, so there's now a scripting editor plugin for automation scripts if you use them. Another big one is when you do a download is an XLSX, which is, we all know, has been introduced for a while, but the previous download was XLS. Some underlying architecture updates. So again, you can see bottom right here, Oracle 18, DB2, 11.144, WAS 9, WebLogic. So I'll just go a little bit deeper into a few of these elements. A lot of them I'm going to talk about really on the left-hand side, I should say, around work centres. But first, what we'll do is we'll just have a look at what dynamic job plans mean. You can see on the right, if you essentially use or have a 4 km total work unit, it does all the dynamic calculations for you. So it will calculate depending on what you've actually used and give you some really, really interesting actual data. And as you can see at the bottom, so the static one is what Maximo previously had and what it works on out of the box anyway. Again, it's applied directly to the work orders. Proportional, so it calculates work orders quantity duration by dividing the quantity duration by the job plan. On the job plan, by the job plan work unit multiplier. But a level one as well, the sort of third option there is depending on the selected quantity based on the defined threshold. Again, the example here is, for example, only one foreman is required to work 5 mile length. Any work order 5 miles requires 2 foremen. It gives you some big flexibility in your planning phase of that work order data. So the new work centre for inventory, it gives you the ability to create items just using the work centre, so you don't have to use Classic. And as you can see in the bottom screen, it gives you all the capability that you have in the Maximo application. So units and measures, conversions, if it's lotting, if it's rotating, but it brings it into a work centre. You can also do issues and transfers, create your edit, issue and transfer items from the storeroom, and supports issues and issuing, rotating, bulk issues, should say, and issuing rotating items. Again, you can see from here, you've got all the functionality that you did in Maximo Standard Classic, but it's here presented into a nice looking work centre. You can also do physical counts and manage reservations. So you can perform inventory counts a bit more, or a lot more efficiently than in Classic, and you can issue or transfers from reservations and return those items very easily. It's a big step forward in what I see in the inventory side of Maximo in this new inventory work centre. The other part of the functionality or the feature upgrade in 7611 is the ability to configure some of the work centres. So initially, the availability of configuration is the work execution and work supervisor. It's only supported in Chrome at the moment, and to set it up to give people access into it, it's just in the security groups as you would for any security application. As you can see at the bottom, I've made highlighted in red the little pencil sign. If you tapped on the pencil sign within the work execution or the work supervision work centre, you get a change in view on the work centre, and essentially it looked like this. So this is me, I've tapped on design mode, which is the pencil. It's pushed me into design mode, and then I get a editable view of the work execution work centre. You can't edit everything. As you go through and as you punch through and as you hover over some of the elements, just up here, you can see that this has got a yellow border. I've hovered over here, and as you hover over some of the elements, the field behind it will go into a different color, or it will be it'll be highlighted in this yellow. If it's highlighted, then you can tap on it. If you tap on it, you get a design card view pop up where you can make some changes to it. So not everything is editable at the moment. Again, this is still work in progress. IBM are working hard to make even more things or more elements within each of these work centers editable. On the work supervision one, so this is where you've got the Kanban view, as you can see here. So I've highlighted or I've hovered over Kanban view, I've tapped on it, and it's given me this design work panel where I can change some of the queries, what object structure it's using. If I tapped further along, or so this is the full card view design. If I wanted to change it to approved work, the name from approved work, I could tap on here and I get a similar view to this where I could change the view or change the description within it. It's a big step forward for you to internally manage some of these work centers without having to have a HTML designer doing some design work for you, presenting it back to Maximo in the way you want, as a business, want it to be used. The actual work center configuration, again, this is the first step in work center configuration for a user. Now, obviously, not everybody is going to have the ability to do this, and you wouldn't give everybody access to this because they'd obviously mess with every work center or potentially break some of the work centers. But the ongoing development work from IBM is to give full flexibility within all the work centers to be able to drive and change them for your specific business if they don't work for you as they are out of the box. One of the other updates, which is pretty interesting, if you use automation scripts. Previously, the automation scripts, long description, if you want to call it, box, which is this one on the right, which is now coloured, used to be essentially just plain text. So it was plain text, you didn't have any colours, it wasn't numbered. You had to really sort of read through it quite clever, or even bring it out into a scripting editor, edit it in a scripting editor first if you really needed to see what it's doing and what it's not doing. And then once you've done it in a scripting editor, actually copy it out and paste it into there once you understood it worked or looked okay for it to work. But now you've got highlighting line numbers, collapsible blocks, so JavaScript validation, try to save, a lot more functionality within automation scripts now. So you don't have to use other editors prior to dropping it into the automation script, where previously, as I said, it just used to be just a string text, no colors or anything like that. So that's a brief overview of some of the functionality within the 7.6.1 release, which came out in May 2019. If you need any further information or would like to discuss with us in depth any more of the features within this release, then please contact us on the below information, so on our telephone number or on the email address there. You can also drop onto our website and take a look, see what's on there. Information you're interested in or want to talk to us, please give us a shout.